Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, both former NFL MVPs, but they've also both received criticism this offseason. But that's not it, y'all. Kyler Murray's new contract had an independent study clause, which we talked about, and that was removed after the details came public. That was also met with backlash. So, star quarterback Patrick Mahomes was asked recently about all of the comments. Y'all take a listen.
I mean, obviously, the black quarterback has had a battle to be in this position that we are, to have this many guys in the league playing. And I think every day we're proving that we should have been playing the whole time. We've got guys that think just as well as they can use their athleticism. And so it always is weird when you see guys like me, Lamar, Kyler, kind of get that on them and other guys don't. But at the same time, we're going to go out there and prove ourselves every day to show that we can be some of the best quarterbacks in the league.
I loved Patrick Mahomes' comments. I loved them because Patrick Mahomes understands he's walking an incredibly tight rope. So many people are waiting for him to try to use race as a crutch. And instead, what Patrick Mahomes said is we are going to go out there each and every day and prove ourselves. But let's just level with some facts. Everything Patrick Mahomes said was fair and accurate because oftentimes outliers, and black quarterbacks are still outliers in the National Football League, outliers have to prove themselves to the norm. Think about the short quarterbacks, Drew Brees, Kyler Murray, have to prove themselves to the norm of the taller quarterbacks. The running quarterbacks, outliers, Michael Vick, Cam Newton, Robert Griffin, Lamar Jackson, those quarterbacks that are proficient at running, have to prove themselves to the norm of the statuesque quarterbacks, the black quarterbacks. Only 3 have won Super Bowls. Russell Wilson, Doug Williams, Patrick Mahomes. Outliers have to continually and constantly prove themselves to the norm being the white quarterback. But I love that Patrick Mahomes simply stated facts and said that he continues to prove himself instead of trying to use it as a crutch. I loved his comments. Joy, what do you make of Patrick Mahomes' comments?
I think they're completely fair. He's being honest. And obviously this is building on not just the Kyler Murray situation, but the anonymous quotes.
The worst.
From the defensive coach that said that Patrick Mahomes plays street ball and that he doesn't care if Lamar Jackson won 12 MVPs, he still wouldn't be a 1 as a quarterback, which, by the way, if Lamar Jackson wins 12 MVPs as an NFL quarterback, nothing any NFL quarterback has ever done matters anymore. He is the standard for anything that is excellent in the league. So to say that it wouldn't matter, whatever you thought a quarterback was before that is irrelevant. It is now whatever Lamar Jackson is. So we're reacting to these really outrageous statements about Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Of course, black quarterbacks are critiqued differently. And what he's talking about and what is inferred in these athleticism comments is that all black quarterbacks offer is their athleticism. They don't offer the pocket presence. They don't offer the leadership. They don't offer the hours studying, the Peyton Manning-esque, Tom Brady-esque intellectual. So when these quote-unquote backhanded compliments of, well, you know, he plays street ball, we admire him for his unbelievable throws, Lamar Jackson, unbelievable athlete. Yes, and league MVP. Both of these men have won a league MVP. That's pretty difficult to do. Aaron Rodgers has won 2 of them, and Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson have won the other 2 in the last 4 years. It's not like they both just walked off a cliff. What these are called microaggressions, and they're very irritating. Anytime you're around someone who's passive-aggressive, what is your mood? Personally, I get a little violent. Say what you need to say, my guy. Say what you're trying to say. Why are you running around this issue? Say what you got to say. Say it with your chest. Why are you being scared? It's microaggressions. They're very frustrating because they are backhanded compliments. They present as a compliment, but they're really a backhanded insult. So athletic. But Patrick Mahomes, you know, he defaults to street ball. Where is the street ball football league? I've been watching football my whole life. I have never once seen. Where is the Rucker Park for football? Football is an organized sport. You need pads, coaches, you need lines, you need all kinds of stuff. Don't talk to me about flag football. He just wanted to say the word street in association with Patrick Mahomes. I see what you're doing. I see where you're going. So, yes, it is a disservice to black quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, to talk about just how athletic they are all the time because it infers that's all they have to offer.
Very strong. Dave, where do you stand on Patrick Mahomes' comments?
I think, which we all owe a debt of gratitude to Mike Sando from The Athletic, who did this piece and gave us all of this material to talk about. But Joy's absolutely right. And the quote I loved, I think I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, what happens to Patrick Mahomes when you take away his first read? I don't know. He kicks your butt anyway? Like this defensive coordinator gets a 0 for self-awareness. Like, these are quarterbacks that absolutely nobody has a consistent answer for. Like, remember, we spent 2 months, all of these talk shows, everybody for September and October was like, Patrick Mahomes has been figured out. The Chiefs keep turning the ball over. And then he took him to the AFC title game. Again, he's never not played in the AFC title game as a starter. The one time he didn't do it was when he was the rookie sitting behind Alex Smith. Maybe you should shut up about criticizing Patrick Mahomes until somebody else is able to figure him out on a more consistent basis. He's absolutely right. And, you know, I'm a guy, I covered the NFL draft in the offseason. That's kind of what I revert to when the Cowboys are out of season. You see it every year. Malik Willis, as recently as this year, Lamar Jackson got a ton of it when he was in the draft cycle. You'd never hear it about white quarterbacks. I mean, it's a consistent thing from year to year. And it's usually, to y'all's point, it's usually anonymous people saying it.
I have to point out that only a writer would give a shout out to another writer.
Gotta look out for one of my own, you know?
Show, absolutely. And Joy, you need to let me know exactly what it is that sets you off, because based on...
Yeah, just, say what you need to say. Speak for yourself.
I will be direct with you always. I appreciate the way that Patrick Mahomes approached this question, because I think it's really important to be very finite about what it is that you are addressing. When we just take the line of, see, this is proof that this is racist or that the NFL is racist, then it's really easy for people who disagree to dismiss it out of hand and say, you're exaggerating the situation. And what he got specific about, because, and look, I'm colored by this because I disagree with you. I think all quarterbacks are critiqued the same. I came in, not to date myself, but I started my career, the start of my career, I was covering the 49ers when Steve Young was there. I heard this exact same criticism with him. In terms of being a scrambling quarterback, it's not effective, you got to stay in the pocket. That was the knock on him. And certainly we've seen other quarterbacks, white quarterbacks recently be criticized. Josh Allen, not that long ago, was being called trash by name. And Baker Mayfield and the way he's been viewed over the last year. So it happens. What I appreciate is that Patrick was very specific in how, in the type of criticism that they receive, which is that in the way it is colored, it is, oh, he's not thinking, or the work ethic with a Kyler Murray. That those are the things that are said, because you could make the same thing, make the same accusations about Josh Allen, or when I heard the criticism about Steve Young, it wasn't his intelligence. It wasn't that he's not seeing the field or interpreting the field or doing the work to be able to diagnose it. It was, oh, we just can't have him playing that way. It's a little too hectic for everybody. The specific, what I hear, and it's that tone that you hear, and you're like, wait a minute, that sounds really familiar. And I don't know that it necessarily applies to these guys. That's what I think Patrick Mahomes is talking about, and that is very much legitimate. I will say this, though, like, knowing all the personnel that I talk to in the NBA, like, you're always going to have that defensive coordinator. Like, you're always going to have that old school, like, outdated thinking, whatever it might be. I take some solace by the fact that in the piece that was written, the vast majority were saying, no, are you kidding me? You're not going to judge Patrick Mahomes that way.
Yeah, I think about 3 words: causation, correlation, or coincidence. Causation, correlation, or coincidence. Is it the causation of these quarterbacks being black that is leading to the negative comments? Is there a correlation between the quarterbacks being black that's leading to the negative comments? Or is there a coincidence? The problem is, and the reality is, we are not so far removed from the hyper-criticism of black quarterbacks that we might look at something coincidental and not look at it as, say, correlation or causation, if you will. I personally think that there is still a different standard for the white quarterback and the black quarterback. I always say, don't confuse excellence with equality. We got Deshaun Watson. We got Russell Wilson. We got Patrick Mahomes. We got Lamar Jackson. Excellent, 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 excellent. But don't ever think that just because you have some that are excellent, that the playing field for assessment is equal.